No,
Stop.
I'm not that I'm not proud of them. It was being a kid. No, I'll tell you a story, bro.
Nah, I'm playing,
I'll
man.
tell you a story, bro. This is hilarious.
Oh my
So we
God.
got a bunch of eggs from Acme, right? I went in there and bought like 5 or 6 dozen eggs, and people were looking at me like, "What's this motherfucker about to do?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go home and bake a cake. What do you think I'm about to do?" So then we go in my friend's car. We back up into my other this kid's driveway that we knew. And we back up into it. It was icy, right? And his car's right there. So people in the car next to me, they grabbed the eggs and they started throwing them at this kid's car, right?
Mhm.
All right. We go to peel out because we threw enough eggs at the car and we can't get out. We got stuck.
Oh man.
So we were just burning rubber, man. We were trying to get the fuck out of there, and we finally got out. But I think he found out. That was hilarious, bro. That was some of the best times of my life doing that shit. That was hilarious. I was dying.
Jesus Christ,
Ever-
man. You ever think about any repercussions that could have happened?
Yeah, I know. I think we didn't get caught, but we used to egg house shit.
I think every kid did that at
Yeah,
least.
dude. That was hilarious. I was the guy buying this stuff. I would go in there and buy like 5 dozen eggs and shit.
No, now that we mention it, man. I think old people they feel privileged to have that title over their name, you know?
Like, do you want do they want praise for being alive longer than us? Like, is that what they want? Like, that's all they're that's all that's the
That
only
doesn't
difference. They've been
that doesn't
alive
make
longer
me
than we have.
that doesn't make me incented to want to get older, you know? It's not something I'm even motivated to even looking forward to is getting older, you know?
I'm looking
I
forward to
think
living
your
today,
whole life, man,
man.
you should be inquisitive your whole life, man. Like you should be curious your whole life.
You should.
You should never feel like you have life figured out.
No, the minute you've had that feeling, that's something lying to you and inside of you. Like, you can't have that shit figured out 100%. Because then there's no point in living anymore because you're done. You figured it out. It's like being enlightened, you know?
The whole thing about being enlightened is just, opening yourself up to, infinite mysteries, understanding that the knowledge is infinite.
Yeah, but the
There's
idea
no
of
way to grasp it all.
infinite is such a hard concept. It's like, look, it's like pi. You know what I mean? It's
I know it's a radical answer.
Yeah. I believe in infinite intelligence. I believe that God is infinite intelligence, if or a God is infinite intelligence. Whatever God you worship is infinite intelligence. You know what I mean? It boils down to that.
You mean infinite intelligence in terms of what, like source energy or consciousness or what?
Think of like source energy.
No, perfect. I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. I don't think of some like guy with a white beard up there just like dictating what happens in this world. I think of source. You know what I mean?
I said the same thing, man. I mean, if you look at all the properties, you look at all the properties of the supposed God. It's all the properties of energy when you think about it, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
what it is. It
it's
comes down
essentially the
to.
same. Yeah.
And I mean, the Old Testament God was a prick to Jewish people. Like, I'm talking about like sadistic, like a prick, sadistic prick to the Jewish people. Would have mood swings, would kill them, would starve them to death, and would punch
Like I
them.
said, there's something called the Book of Deuteronomy where that God in the Old Testament sort of send his people out to like a land or whatnot, and they could do whatever they wanted to people, like literally anything. They could rape them, they could kill them, they could take as many wives as they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, God
A
wanted to
lot of those
test.
things are allowed. Yeah.
It was a lot of that's cultural too, man. But I mean, if it says it in that the God let this happen, you know,
Hmm.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that God would do something like that, or that God actually put himself in that place, to do
I don't
something like
see
that.
any. Like I said, like I am curious about everything, but I don't see a possibility in like a energy being that's sitting in like another space of time that's watching, just doing nothing, just allowing the world to just run itself.
I think that So Alex Jones said that God. I don't quote Alex Jones here. He's pretty crazy, but he has his points. He said that God doesn't know where he came from or who he or she is.
That's interesting.
What do you think about that? Because I heard that, I was like, that is interesting. Like, what do you make of that if God doesn't know where he or she came from?
Well, what does that mean for us? Does that mean like we're contributing to God or what? Does it? Because if you think about it, the whole universe it runs off of mentalism, right?
Yeah, it's all mental.
So that would fundamentally would mean something very similar to like we're living in a body of something, right? We're contributing to a body of some
Yeah,
kind.
we're organisms or atoms inside of a being, and this being could be the universe.
Because supposedly, from what I heard and from what I researched, when our cells in our body and they die and they split in half, the stars in the sky do the same thing, right?
Yeah, they have like what the hell is it? What
It's
thing will
called
happen?
cell division, though, for
Yeah,
cells.
the stars do that too. They implode and then they go into other stars. They blow up into other stars. I think that what
Mm.
happens in the universe is we are a microcosm of what happens in the entire universe in terms of living and dying and being born and dying. We're a microcosm, and everything that goes on inside of our body is a microcosm of what goes on in our reality. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we're all different microcosms of something.
I don't know.
But I don't know, man. I'm just speculating here because if I knew, I would start my own church.
Do whatever you want with your church. None of my business.
Yeah, I know, man. I'll let you come
Whatever
speak.
you do. If I come and speak at that church, man, people gonna get to,
Get the running. Be like, this
oh
guy's
Lord,
crazy.
we gather here today. People doing handstands. They're gonna bring in E and J's.
Yo,
They're
I
gonna
went
bring
to
in
one of those churches,
T40s.
bro. They're jumping up and down and shit. I was like, what do we got? What is this? What is this? A '90s hip hop party or something? Like, what are y'all doing? Jump around, jump around. Like, what are y'all
Hey,
doing?
what is it? Saints Row 2 or something? Saints Row 1?
Yeah, is this Saints Row One? I wanted to run around too, bro. I wanted to start running around too. Because they were playing the
Jesus
piano
Christ.
and they were praising Jesus. So like, praise his name, Jesus. Ah.
I don't think you should be doing that, man. Okay. Nonetheless.
I mean, I felt like at some point I was seeing people running around the church. I was like, you're gonna hurt yourself.
I want to see a time machine in fully functional progress. That's what I want to see. I want to see a time machine.
I want to go back. Where do I want to go back to?
I want a time machine. I want to know if these guys that are using astral projection to go to these exoplanets that they have out there that's not in the solar system. That's what I want to know too, as well.
They probably are, bro. But their consciousness goes out their body, I guess.
Yeah, right. There's so many things you can do when you astral project, though, and it's all based off what's in your subconscious.
Here's the thing, though. I've read that Buddhist monks used to project their consciousness into different beings. So they would move their consciousness to a bird or to a fucking tiger, and then back to their body.
I believe it, man. Yeah, it's credible. I believe it.
Yeah,
The same thing you're telling me now is the same thing. The article I read about Twitter, they're saying that they're working on something similar to that about moving our consciousness to an artificial body of some kind.
yeah, because the body can live forever. The artificial body can. There's a movie about that with like Matt Damon or whatever one of those assholes that plays in the movie.
And you going crazy today, man.
I know. You know how I feel.
So yeah, man, it's kind of crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
But it's like asking yourself what you want your consciousness. Well, consciousness does go on forever and everything, right?
Yeah, we just go back. We just go back into the puddle or the pool when we die.
That's like the Pisces. That's the Pisces. The symbol for the Pisces, right?
Yeah, it's two fish
The
swimming in the opposite directions.
one fish is swimming towards out of the physical dimension, right?
Yeah, one fish is swimming back into it, I guess. So the Pisces never really feels like he or she is 100% human or 100% in this universe. They always feel like they're in the wrong place, that it was born in the wrong place.
Well, they're very imaginative people too, so they're always,
Yeah,
predominantly thinking inside their head all the time.
yeah. It's crazy, man. So many females out here, man, be acting ridiculous, man. I don't want to talk, but I guess I should. I heard stories about like people saying that they were gonna go, do stuff with somebody, and they say, you know what, never mind. I heard those stories today.
We mean do stuff to somebody.
Yeah, like like
Like physical, you mean like intimacy, or you mean like physical, like verbal abuse or
no
physical abuse?
intimacy. I heard people were saying that she would be intimate with that person,
Oh man, I ain't surprised,
and
man.
she went back on it after like a couple weeks, and I was like, you know what, that's fucked up to say that, to do that to somebody.
I ain't surprised, man. Humans will be humans.
Yeah, that's why you don't even go for the intimacy because it's not even unless you're 100% secure in your shit that you can go for it. But if you're not secure in your shit or you're not secure in your knowledge of that person, why would you do it? It's a risk. It's a big risk.
The only thing you're doing, you're anticipating everything, and you're only awaiting a educated guess. And then it's like, and then from their level of perspective, it's not even an educated guess.
I'm about to say something that could be that could be perceived as sexist, but I'm only repeating what somebody else said. I don't 100% agree with it, so before I say it, let me get a disclaimer out there. Here's what I'm going to say. This came from Patrice O'Neill, comedian, philosopher. He's awesome. He said that women are only reactionary.
Reactionary.
They only react to only react. They do not engage themselves. They're only reactionary in terms of their actions and their speech and everything.
Yeah, that's your first instinctive instinct to go about when something has them feeling emotional about something, right? That's sort of true.
Yeah. But listen, I
When you
don't
think about
100%
it,
agree with it though. I think men can be reactionary too, you know.
yeah, I mean, it's half true. But a lot of times there are situations where men actually think before they do something too.
Yeah, it's
So
called logic.
yeah,
I think women
well,
feel like that
men,
too. It's just that we let our emotions get ahead of us, both of us. That's the sexist.
I don't know. Men, it seems like men will want to verbalize and communicate before they start getting to altercations or whatnot.
That's true. Let's talk it
With
out.
women is just straight. This gets to how something makes you feel. Then I have to strike back. Because that means your feelings are at stake. They're at risk.
So you're saying that men are more in control than women in terms of their emotions?
A lot of times, yeah, it would seem as such.
Man, he just came to a conclusion. Mm.
I mean, you can't tell a woman how to feel about her feelings, man. That's not possible, though. That's like telling her she's wrong about how she feels in the moment. I say that all the time.
Let her feel what she wants to feel, man, because you can't change that.
A lot of guys will rationalize, and it's only based on. It's like the guys do the same thing. They'll rationalize on how the situation plays out. Like, should I fight somebody because my integrity is so important to me,
Yeah, but you
and
can't,
my character image is so important.
you can't rationalize something that's coming from an irrational. It's not going to work. You need something to be rational in order to rationalize it. You can't come from an irrational state like jealousy, love, hate, all these hard emotions, all these high vibration, low vibration emotions.
It's not easy for people to use logic in an unbalanced life, man.
No, it's not.
If you grow up and all you see is perpetual violence 24/7, that's like I said, that's very apparent to you. That's
Yeah,
the only how you're gonna know how to initiate yourself,
you know,
how to be able to
like
express
something
yourself. Just
on
do.
you, and you saw your baby, your mother stab the guy. You're gonna stab him too.
how it affects you when you get older, you tend to compensate for it, you know? So you either compensate for the lack of love that your parents showed you, or, you know, any sort of, it's like lower vibrations.
Yeah, that's all you're doing is compensating.
I gotta fight this guy because my character image, my character appearance is so important. If I don't, I'm gonna lose everything.
Maybe losing everything is the right thing to do, though, man.
It could teach you how to find yourself.
Once you
Like I said,
find yourself, you don't need anybody. You
a
know,
lot of people they don't look at adversity like it's a teacher though. That's what's hilarious about it though. Because
they
like I
look at
said,
adversity as it's a plague on them.
you can follow the crowd, but the crowd is not going to lead you to the goal though. You know they're going to take the goal from you.
Yeah,
That's what's
because
going
if
to happen.
they're gonna
They're
get
going to
there
hide. They're
first.
going to take the goal and they're going to hide the goal.
Fuck crowds too, dude. I hate being around like a bunch of people that are all thinking the same way because it's going to turn out into some bullshit. You know what I mean?
I don't want the same predicaments that the next man is caught up in. You know, because then they tend to utilize your name for any sort of
Yeah.
ideal.
Like this guy's thinking the same way I'm thinking, but I'm gonna use him because he's in the same league as I am. I'm like, no, you don't use me, bro. Like we're two different people. We just came to it. We're just going through the same shit. But that's why I don't like crowds like that because anything can happen. If you're protesting something and one guy says, "Yeah, let's fuck him up," and then everybody else is gonna have the same idea because it's a crowd mentality. You know what I mean? The more people that get together, the dumber everybody gets.
Yeah, you can say that again.
It's true, man. With these riots and these protests, like they're all stupid. All those people that are out there protesting about anything are stupid because their capacity is so on edge, and they could be triggered to do something violent, and they probably wouldn't do it by themselves. But since they're around other people, they feel pressure to do so. You know what I mean? That's where you get violence from. All it takes is
I
one
think
handful.
America is always like to see. They always like to see and seek violence 24/7 because it makes them feel like they're the ones that's not being the victim for once in life.
Because the government wants to project violence on the community because they want the community to be seen as the problem and not the government. And in specific communities, I'm talking about like lower income, like like
Poverty.
poverty. Yeah, poverty. The poverty is the problem. If we could just fix these people and and take away their poverty, they would be all right. But it's the government that's really causing the problem of poverty. It's not the people. They want to perpetuate it in order to protect themselves because they admit that people don't feel impoverished, they feel empowered. You know what I mean?
That's kind of sad when you put it that way.
It's 100% true though, man. Because if you feel
Of
empowered,
course.
you don't feel impoverished. You won't be impoverished. You'd be wealthy because you can be wealthy in a state of mind. You can be wealthy in knowledge. You don't have to be wealthy with money, but that'll come to you if you feel wealthy. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this: you don't think none of this works in accordance for like a specific agenda, or is supposed to play out this way?
I mean,
Like
it's, it's
as an
playing out
initiative.
it's playing out the way it's supposed to, I guess. But by whose judgment are we judging this the way this is being played out? I don't know.
We can't all be millionaires, though. We would never strive for, contentment, though.
No, we can't all be billionaires, but we can all be able to live comfortably. You know what I mean? We can still go to work every day, but we don't have to be striving for the next paycheck, drowning. You know what I mean? We can all live comfortably, I believe. But we don't. We not all of us are meant to be billionaires because there's not enough money to go around. I don't want to be a billionaire. I want to live comfortably, man.
I don't think everyone's meant to live comfortably either, because we're always going to find something to complain about as humans.
They have to because they want to feel like empowered. They want to feel like they're being persecuted. And that would explain their problems, and they wouldn't be able to blame themselves for their issues if they think that something else is making them feel bad. When in reality, it's themselves, man.
It's very unnecessary to place yourself in the shoes of another person.
Yeah, I don't do that, man. I don't need to be. You don't need to be doing that. Everybody has their own struggles, you know.
especially when it comes to financial issues too. Like the more money you have, it doesn't necessarily make it easier for you to bypass all your your trials and whatnot in life.
No, it's true.
Only only thing this is going to bring forth is you being lost in like your mind, body, and spirit, your spiritual connection with yourself. The only thing that's is just going to loosen that connection even more.
I think you're better off having a connection to yourself than a connection to everybody else. But I think once you get a connection to yourself, you realize that you and the other person are just in the same. You know what I mean?
You can easily find yourself intertwined with another person as long as y'all like I want to say dissolve the ego, but I think it goes a little deeper than that.
It does go deeper than that because the ego is only the outer layer. You got your super ego, and then you got your so you have your ego, your super ego, and your id. And I forget which is which, but the ego is only the outer layer that's projected. You know what I mean?
Well, it's only a defense mechanism, so
The ego was born or what was created in order to defend or to keep humans alive because they had to fight and be jealous and get angry in order to keep their own resources, like kill people. You know what I mean?
yeah, like it works as a process, like a protector, processor.
Because like a bear doesn't have a fucking ego. It just knows that if I killed this thing, I get to eat. But it's not doing it to protect itself. It just knows that that's what it has to do. Like we have the
They
ego.
already have their survival mechanisms.
Yeah, we still have ours, even though we aren't in danger of death by getting like eaten by a bear. Like not everybody's gonna get eaten by a bear or chased by a fucking dinosaur. But we're still have the survival mechanisms in our society, and that gets in the way.
I don't know.
It's crazy, man.